This is Tom Duty, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Duty in a Google search for my site. From BBC, July 13th, 2017. Chuck Blazer, life of ex-FIFA official turned whistleblower. Chuck Blazer was the central figure behind the corruption scandal, which led to the eventual downfall of the organization's president, Sepp Blatter. But the ex-FIFA executive turned whistleblower was also known for leading an eccentric and often lavish lifestyle, with reports that he had separate Manhattan flats for his cats and a parrot frequently seen on his shoulder. He died, age of 72, July 2017. Rise from salesman. For a man whose career has come to epitomize sleaze in football, it may be surprising or perhaps fitting that Blazer never actually played the sport himself. Chuck is extraordinarily knowledgeable about soccer, but I never detected in him any real passion for the sport. Doug Logan, another prominent figure in the development of football in the U.S. in the 1990s, told BuzzFeed in an extensive piece in June 2014, he's what I affectionately call a suit. His involvement with football began when he coached his son's team in the town of New Rochelle, New York State, in the late 70s. Blazer earned the nickname Mr. 10% due to his lucrative contract with CONCACAF, CONCACAF. Listeners, forgive me, I'm not a football fan, and I know this is a long acronym that's an affiliate associated with FIFA, but I can't pronounce it. Blazer's skills as a salesman and his knowledge of the business side of football saw him rise through regional football organizations in the U.S. and then on to the Confederation of North Central America and the Caribbean Association Football, CONCACAF. There he teamed up with Trinidadian football ambassador Jack Warner to engineer Mr. Warner's election as president of the Caribbean Football Association. In 1990, Mr. Warner immediately named Blazer general secretary and put him in charge of the organization's operation. The two moved the Caribbean Football Association headquarters to Guatemala City, from Guatemala City to the U.S., where at this time that Blazer signed a contract with the Caribbean Football Association that entitled him to 10% commissions on all sponsorship and TV right deals through his company, Sportsvertising, giving rise to the nickname Mr. 10%. His pet parrot and other eccentricities. From 1996 to 2013, he was on FIFA's executive committee. Blazer was not shy about publicizing his lifestyle he enjoyed while in FIFA's upper echelons. A blog recording his travels documented, amongst other things, his meeting with world leaders, Miss Universe 2011, watching the 2012 Super Bowl in a special suite, and his enthusiasm for fancy dress. He also introduced readers to his pet parrot, a blue and gold macaw named Max Blazin, even uploaded a video of the bird dancing on the basket of his mobility scooter. In New York Central Park, Chuck Blazer sat with Pet Parrot on his shoulder. His famous blue and white parrot featured on the post of his colorful blog. According to one Sunday Times report, the famous parrot was trained by Blazer's ex-wife to verbally abuse him after the couple had split up. He was also rumored to have kept an apartment just for his cats in the New York's famous Trump Tower skyscraper, as well as one for himself that Mr. Blazer was accused him of paying for with Caribbean Football Association funds. According to a 2013 report by the Caribbean Football Association Integrity Committee, he also used $48,500 of the organization's money to buy a Hummer, which then cost $600 a month to park near his New York office. An FBI sting on a mobility scooter. Mr. Warner left the Caribbean Football Association in 2011 with allegations of corruption and bribery. And Blazer later that year learned of news leadership wanting to get rid of him. After resigning, he was reported to have said, "This has been the best job in the world, but I need some action. People should seriously consider me for a top CEO." His lavish lifestyle began to unravel when it came to light. Investigators were probing his confidential payments to offshore accounts operated by Blazer. Chuck Blazer on a scooter and a Star Wars characters as an image caption. The former FIFA executive was often seen on his motorized scooter. A report of the investigation by the New York Daily News in November 2011 said Blazer was stopped while making his way to a pricey Manhattan restaurant in a mobility scooter by federal agents who had been tracking tax evasion. We can take you away in handcuffs now, or you can cooperate, one of the agents allegedly told Blazer. He is then said to have agreed to record his colleagues using a microphone hidden in a keychain. In 2013, he pleaded guilty to bribery, money laundering, and tax evasion, but agreed to help investigators expose corrupt FIFA. He was banned from all football activities for life in 2015. According to New York Times, Blazer had been suffering from rectal cancer for years. His lawyer announced his death on 12th of July 2017. End of BBC text. This is not much of a eulogy. This is not much of an obituary. This is more of a news report attached to the death of this man. Even the date of his death is not stated explicitly. Readers, I chose this story because I have several FIFA reports tied to the 2015 news break of corruption, and though the view count is not especially high, the retention was very good. So the people finding my FIFA YouTube videos were listening at a relatively high level of, the videos were keeping their attention at a relatively high level, and some of them were very long. And this man, in those 2015 reports, was described in much the same way he's described here, mentioning his cancer, and he cooperated with the prosecution of others. He was banned for life, but everyone knew, it was no surprise to anyone, that his life would be cut short. This has been Tom Duty, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Duty in a Google search for my site. Thank you for listening. Have a good day, good evening, a restful night's sleep. Ciao.